look of Fnatic's lineup, but I'm hoping either way this is going to be a close game. I'm going to head up and I'm going to leave you guys to jump into game number 1.
All right, thank you, Nat, and hi, Sheepo. We get to cast again. yeah. I like how you showed up today, and you're like, I'll just wing it. That's what being Dota talent is all about. Every now and then, you just got to kind of BS your way through some stuff, and you know, we're gonna have to get ourselves right into a 5v5 smoke initiation. It's going to be T1 who get the initial jump, but the Inks will retaliate from jabs on the Brewmaster. Not going to connect it. Both teams just kind of looking to disengage, but the torrent from Cuckoo going to catch 2. Armel forced to try and get himself out of there with the Dissimulate, and it looks like no casualties early on make the most sense for him this game, as far as whether it's countering an enemy hero or just making his own game go well.
It would be good for him to buy a halberd.
All that thought, mistimed arrow. Disruption was looking to set it up and said they're going to look to turn this one onto Whitemon. Potential first blood. Is it coming? No, they need one more right click or some damage from a Shikuchi. DJ goes fishing, but doesn't find Whitemon, and he's being dusted up, so he needs to be careful. Gets caught up by Zephyr. The double Starstorm's going to do some good damage here. Now Whitemon, not needed. It's Zephyr with the arrow who gets the first blood onto DJ's Weaver.
Weaver does it again!
Yeah, they tank the gank with the support.
They could stay mid and just try again. Because at least it forces Armel off the lane.
They're going Gabby, but he's just going to rage TP out. Level 1 rage, but that's enough to not get caught by a Cyclone or a Boulder Toss. So instead, Fnatic going to maybe pressure this tower, but they've got no Primal Split. Once this ends, they could be in some trouble here. Rotation coming down, smoked up T1. Both supports a smoke for this, and they're looking to punish. Can they catch Fnatic with a TP in from the Queen of Pain? This could be a bad situation for them to be in. DJ may just have to Shikuchi his way out of there. Jabs does manage to not get hit by the arrow. He's going to go for the TP out. The Sonic Wave. The damage is not enough. He survived. Oh, poorly executed gank from T1.
Because you keep your map, like, you know, more open for yourself for so long by keeping the safe lane tower alive. Obviously, like, the standard way of playing Dota is you take the safe lane tower, then you take the mid tower. Oh, they're making a move.
Oh, they've got the Brewmaster. They need to burst him before he pops that Primal Split. Have they got the damage with the Torrent and the Ghost Ship? I believe they do. Sonic Wave to make sure of it. They knew this time around Jabs had a Primal Split, so they had to try and burst him fast, and they did just that, but they lose the tower.
This Orchid is just, like, frightening as long as T1 gets the jump.
Yeah. And unlike T1, like, for T1, if they were facing this, they have a Disruption save. But this time around, Fnatic will get the jump in the mid lane, but there's a Disruption save. You go in a hero, Disruption is there, but he does get caught by the pull as he comes out, but the Queen of Pain gets bailed out, and now the Ghost Ship rolling in as well. They've taken out the Void Spirit. Raven's going to get low. He's got the Reincarnation to give him a second life here, but will Fnatic have the firepower to take this one? They've gone in with the Primal Split. Jabs trying to zone them out, and now with Raven following him up, they may have enough damage, but a great infest as they go into the Mirana. They need to finish her off to get the Lifestealer, but looks like Zephyr's going to get back to safety, and with the Queen of Pain finishing off the backlines, suddenly it's a 5 versus 3. Cuckoo's got himself a banish into Torrent. They get the Brewmaster. They've gotten 3. Great execution there for that team fight for T1.
That was so nice. It's actually quite funny. I was talking about how, oh yeah, if T1 get the jump, like, they're just so...
On Brewmaster, not really particularly close. Void Spirit, he's going to have a Sanjin Kaya, but he's still very vulnerable. Gets caught by the X. Yeah, this is the problem. The Orchid's there, the Ghost Ship follow-up, and Armel gets picked off. Little smoke rotation from T1. They were, I think, looking for some bigger fish to fry, but they do catch out the poor Grimstroke. But I think good news for Fnatic is that didn't catch a core, but there's still potential for Armel to get caught here in the mid lane. He gets disrupted. The Fault could come in, but Raven's just blinked on the Shadow Demon, instantly deleting him. The arrow going to come flying through, but the Orchid on the Wraith King not going to do a whole lot except stop him from throwing out another stun, which is still on cooldown. And Fnatic maybe looking for another follow-up initiation. The Blink Wraith King coming up in a couple of seconds, and he's found the Mirana with Armel following it up, and they're going to catch Zephyr as well. So T1 getting in a bit too deep there and finding the wrong targets. Really well played by Armel in the trees there, not getting caught by the Disruption arrow combo.
That's really nice. Fnatic playing their game plan really well right now. They tried to make an offensive move. It didn't go well.
So this Ag Scepter, they've got that Armlet Tesso and Wraith King, and they're ready to fight. They finished the Ag Scepter on Brewmaster as well. They jump in with Raven. They found the Shadow Demon. That's the big target they want to kill off first, but can they do this with the Infest to heal him up a little bit? They get the Soulbind as well, and the damage is just there to finish him off. Raven is going to lose his first life on the Wraith King. Shadow Demon even going to buy back to try and make sure this fight goes well for them. The Sonic Wave, a complete whiff from Carl. As both teams, I believe, going to look to disengage with the Shadow Demon buyback. It seems like Fnatic are happy just to respect T1's strength here and disengage for the time being.
I think they could just go again on Fnatic. Japs has his Ags. They have another split.
T1 smoking at them. Time lapse away. Shikuchi, nicely done by DJ. He does get dusted up, but he's out of catch range. Really good play from Fnatic not to get caught there. But Roshan, Fnatic, if they want to contest this, they need to get there soon. T1 are killing this one fast. Jabs does have a second primal split with the Aghanim Scepter, but it looks like they're just not responding to this one, or they just don't care. Yep. It's getting low. It looks like it should be too late. Another arrow going to come flying through, and Roshan will drop.
Stunned.
Yeah, outside of the Wraith King, they don't have a good way. Maybe the Ag Scepter on Void Spirit changes that, but we'll see. Raven here on the front lines gets banished up, but he's got backup right behind him. Armel jumps on the back lanes. He's looking for the White Mon Shadow Demon. Wants to take out the sports to start this fight, and he'll do just that. Armel could be in some trouble. He's been demonic purged here, and Gabby's lifesteal trying to finish him off. Armel gets out of there with the Astral Step, and they've also taken out one more. Raven's Wraith King doing a bit too much damage for them to handle here as the Ghost Ship going to come flying through. Mistimed on a DJ's Weaver, so he'll Shikuchi himself out of there. Another time lapse in 1 second, so he's got that extra bit of save there as Cuckoo goes for the BKB TP out. Nothing to cancel that. Same story for the Lifestealer with his...
Not fair! I want blood!
Like that level 1 5v5 was just like a precursor for how the entire game will go. Yeah, they'll 5v5 and no one will die. Fnatic say, okay, well, don't worry, we got you, Sheepo. We'll show you some kills. Gabby, oh my god, he's gonna lifesteal his way through. There's the boat, catches 3! T1 with a sick turnaround! The Kunkka from Cuckoo blows up Jabs, and he's looking for Armel next, whose BKB is still on cooldown. Does get himself back to the low ground, and instead it's going to be Grimstroke taking a spill, and that should be able to set up T1 to secure themselves Roshan. What a turnaround coming out from Cuckoo's Kunkka. See any way he can do any of his, DJ plays that he likes to make around the pit. He's not on a nurse spray, he's not on clockwork. Like, his warriors aren't killing anyone, but if he can just keep this lifesteal Cyclone for an entire fight, much like the Wraith King, it feels like you just got to ignore this lifestealer because he's getting a bit unkillable.
He is only built items that make him tank here. He's so tank, there's no damage.
Cuckoo. They go in on the Kunkka, but gets bailed out by the disruption here. Raven in the front lines doing some good damage here, but now Gabby and the lifesteal's rocked up. Carl gets a nice sonic wave through them all, and that's going to bring down Armel. His Void Spirit goes down, and Fnatic just don't have the damage to get these kills. Not against the disruption save, and they're going to lose more with the Grimstroke going down as well. DJ trying to get himself back to safety, finds a nice spot to TP out from. And it looks like they'll get themselves out of there for now. They've got buybacks if needed, but suddenly T1 are the ones on the front foot, and they may be looking to go high ground here. Jumping in, Carl. Doing what he can. He's got the Lincoln Sphere to play around. He's going to be a little bit careful here. An Inkswell stun could cause him some problems. Instead, it looks like T1 just going to focus the objectives. Gabby gets the tier 3 tower, and they just say, that's enough for now. Look for a reset. Look for another catches. T1, they're not fully backing off here. They are looking to keep the pressure on and maybe force this Void Spirit to buy back. Armel going to hold on to it for now. And they're going to go again. They're going to put Gabby on the high ground with that Solar Crest and Armlet, just doing what he can to bring down this melee Raxin. The pressure's now on. Jabs has those primal splits if he wants to use them. He popped the refresher and everything. Doing some decent damage to Gabby's first life, but with the Aegis to play around, they're just going to get a full lane of Rax for free, and they're going to swing themselves top. They've still got a minute and a half, and Fnatic may just find themselves going down a second lane here unless they can buy time to take a fight with this Void Spirit respawn. They go in with the Raven Wraith King. He blinks in, but they don't have the damage for Gabby just yet. He's getting low. Can they do this one? He turns with the Rage. He's just lifestealing his way through this one, and they just take out the Wraith King. His first life goes down. They're maybe going to be able to kill him a second time. He can't get the BKB off, and they lose Wraith King. Raven's down. T1 going to go for the Rax now, it looks like, as Jabs on the front line with the Primal Split. Armel's respawned, but the disruption saves are there to bail out the Mirana for now. Leap out as well to keep him alive, and Armel just forced a BKB and watch his teammates die. Carl jumping into the backline. Januel, he's got absolutely nothing to get this Queen of Pain off of him, and Carl is going to clean up the backlines. He's godlike, and T1 are just crushing Fnatic in these team fights. They get that second lane of Rax, but more importantly, they force multiple buybacks, get some key kills, and find themselves GG. It's over, Sheepa.
I would also call GG if my Weaver failed to ult me twice on both.